The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's start this conversation. Let's start this conversation. We got no relation.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome into the night. My show by me, Sean Kelly. What a night! What a night! It's going to be one hell of a show. Before I continue, okay, I want to thank UPR and Talk Radio 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans for allowing me to give you two shows a week, Sunday nights from 8:10 to 10:10 p.m. and Tuesday nights 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. Cindy, hi Heidi, hi Holly, good to see you. I was thinking about you the other day. Hey Kara, but tonight's going to be a good night. But I have one more announcement. I'm just excited on my guests who I have here tonight. I'm just excited. They're my brothers, okay, but we'll get to them. Relax. But no, right after my show, I am going to be on C.L. Thomas, the Gateway Podcast. And hopefully the gentleman here below, will come along with me. Somebody messed up the screen and it's really irating me, but you know what? That's okay. So right after my show tonight, at 9:15, pop on over to the Gateway Podcast because we're going to continue the show and we're going to continue stuff, what we're going to be talking about. But real quick, as you read up there, the paranormal bullying is going on around again. Okay. And I have seen some different videos on TikTok. I've seen them on Facebook. I've seen people trashing other people who are in the paranormal field. And it has to stop. It has to freaking stop. And so I said, you know what? Why don't I do a show on it? And the three gentlemen, that I thought of, I asked them, and they're here tonight. Now, between us, the four of us, we have over 95 years of experience in the paranormal field. I have investigated with all of them, And I really do consider some of them as the OGs of paranormal investigating here in Pittsburgh and in Kentucky. And so I brought him here on the show. Hopefully, CL will be able to come on. But um, we got to stop this madness. And that's why I brought them on, because we're going to talk about them. Okay. We're going to talk about this madness and what we should do, our experiences with other people, paranormal groups that diss us, or just like try to diss us and bully us. So we're going to talk about it tonight. And my guest tonight is Eric Bollinger. Hey, Eric. This is Dr. J. Blackburn and the Reverend Drake Bowan. What's up, guys? Welcome.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
So we'll start off with Eric. Just a little preview of how you got started. And we only have an hour. That was a joke. But so if you could just like kind of like talk about how you started, and then we'll go around and then we'll get into the nitty gritty. Hey, Kevin.
I grew up in a house that was haunted. I remember seeing a shadow figure when I was a little kid, and always felt like it being watched upstairs. Experiences happened throughout the rest of my life, but I always kind of brushed them off. Then I met some people at a job that were interested in it, and I was struggling to figure out what to get as a wedding gift for two friends that were getting married. And I decided to just buy us all passes to a public investigation somewhere. And from then on, I got the bug. And that was over 15 years ago.
It's crazy how we started. How about you, Jay?
Okay, yeah. I was born and raised in Kentucky. My family always talked about paranormal experiences. I was raised around it. And then 1999, I lost my mom's dad. Um, the night we buried him, I ended up seeing like a shadow figure that looked just like him, and it took me in, and it just walked out of the room. No footsteps, no nothing, and it, being 18 years old, you seen something like that kind of gets to you. And then, like me, you talked before. I ended up, about 2008, something like that. Ended up buying one of those little small Sony handy cams, and ghost hunters started on TV and stuff. And I'm like, well, I want to try this. I want to see, if I can get the same thing. Done that. Me and my wife at the, now we ended up dating. She believes in it. I kind of took a break from it, moved up here, started going, with Drake and all them, and it just progressed. And she helped. She was that rock to push me to get the PhD in the metaphysical sciences.
Cool. Thank you. And Drake, Reverend Drake.
Mine's
Hey,
a little
Johnny.
longer.
Kara.
Mine's
we
mine's a
got
little
an
bit
hour,
longer to talk about. Yeah, that's why I'm going to try to cut it down.
Yeah.
It started probably about 23, 25 years ago, give or take. Was living in a location that had we'd heard stories about it being haunted, but didn't believe it at the time. And one night, my ex-wife and I were sleeping in the attic, and my oldest boy come racing upstairs, yelling, "Daddy, Daddy!" She hit me. We were sharing the house with another couple, and it was a giant Victorian mansion. And I turned on the light, and sure enough, there's a handprint on my boy's face. And I'm going, okay, I'm going to kick her, thinking it was my buddy's wife.
was going to kick, nobody attacks my kids. So I went to go get dressed and go downstairs, and so I'm going to kick her ass from here tomorrow, pardon my language. And he turned around, he says, Daddy, it wasn't Aunt Jackie, it was a lady in purple. And I'm like, what? Like, go back to bed. Next night, I was up late playing around on the computer and went
Hey, Mark.
upstairs. And lo and behold, as I was going up to the attic to go to bed with my now ex-wife, there was a lady standing down at the end of the hall, full 1800s Victorian era dress, purple colored, that walked through the wall after she saw me, and just been kind of curious ever since. Some years later, my darling other half, Zoe, and I were sitting watching TV on her birthday, and she said, we were watching Ghost Hunters, and she says, I bet you if we had our own team, we could do much better and get better evidence and put it out there. And I took that as a challenge and formed our team.
Awesome. And okay. I'm just looking at all this stuff here. All right, listen. Okay, we're gonna get this. Oh man, come on! Don't ruin this. Okay, there we go. I don't know what the hell happened, dudes, but we're normal. Look at it. We're normal finally. But
are we really normal, Sean?
yeah, I know. Tallywhacker.
We all run around in the dark with voice recorders, cameras, and EMF meters, and talking into thin air and hoping we get a response. I don't necessarily call that normal.
I think so. No, we're not. That's why they call it paranormal. But what I brought you guys here all together was, like I said at the beginning of the show, about all the paranormal bullying going on now again. I mean, it happened. It was people were bullying each other maybe about 3-4 years ago, and then all of the freaking it just started back up again. And what's the sad part about it is that people are posting this shit on TikTok and Facebook and other areas. And I just want you guys to come in, and would like to hear your opinions on the bullying and of others through the paranormal field. And have you ever been bullied yourselves? So can we start with Dr. J. Blackburn?
To me, I think there's a lot of people who would actually talk about pretty much anyone that's in this field behind the back. Like you said, Sean, there's people that gets on Facebook, TikTok, whatever, and just start doing that stuff. And I really see a lot of jealousy behind it because, these guys, who does that, I believe they really just want to be on TV. When I think all of us, who's been doing it, we just in it for the science, really. We don't want to be on TV. I mean, I don't. I have never even had the intention of trying to get a TV show or anything like that. Podcast stuff like that. I love getting on these things, talking to everybody. I think it's a really cool thing that we're doing this and any other thing.
Eric?
I can't think of any bullying I've experienced in investigating, so maybe call myself lucky. I don't really pay attention to it. I do what I do, and the people I do it with, I trust, and we have a good time. And if someone wants to try to ruin that good time, we're not going to put up with them. I don't know why Sean is waving at me, but
no, I'm not. I don't want to interrupt you talking, brother. But my friend Randy came in, and Miss Judy Bowman says hello. So, But whenever you guys see me doing this, I'm just waving to the people who pop into the chat room. That's all. 'Cause
Gotcha.
and Drake, how many times have we investigated together? Okay,
Mm.
and you know damn well we can't. We
Well,
can't.
yeah.
We
You
can't.
have you have
And
you have your technique. I have my technique. You know, and
exactly.
everybody in the paranormal field has their own way of doing it. You know, the fun thing is that there is no right or wrong. You know, if the end results get you EVPs, get you video, uh, get you photographs, you can't explain, and you share it out there. You know, how you do it is up to you. There is no right way or wrong way. You know, and as far as being bullied or being bullied, and I have to agree with Jay. I have to agree with Jay. He's absolutely right. It's a whole jealousy thing. You know,
Yeah.
I just had about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I kicked off several people from my team. Um, really recently, I should say, because they were going around, and you know the economy was bad. You know, I have a disabled wife I support, and being the sole breadwinner, I can't always go out and ghost hunting. You know, and these people to this day are still talking trash on me, and they know who they are. They know exactly who they are, and I wouldn't doubt if they're watching right about now. Um, but it's like, why do you have to be that way? I mean, yeah, human nature is human nature. We humans are bred to be rude to each other. You know, it is a learned thing, and it definitely needs to go down the drain because if I had a problem with Jay, I would talk, and I'm running around talking crap behind his back, which I know better because he'd take it out on me at work the next day. But
You sure would.
he, oh, I wouldn't put it past him. Um, but it doesn't build me up as a human being, and it sure doesn't do anything to build him up. And unfortunately, those people who bully others, people are petty enough to listen to that and take the ball and run with it, and it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
Right. And I've seen it. Now, when I started in 2006, okay, when I formed PPS, at that time you had TAPS family members. You had TAPS, okay, and at that time, since TAPS was on TV, you had to become a TAPS family member. It was the only thing that you could do, to make you a legitimate paranormal group at the time when I first started it. And I said, no, I am not going to be a TAPS family member. I am Pittsburgh Paranormal Society, and I do it my freaking way, you know. And talking about being lynched, dude, honest to God, it was terrible. It got to the point, and I'm not bullshitting or exaggerating with you guys out there. I got death threats. Yes, yes, because I wasn't becoming TAP's family member. And I
Because you want
remember
kowtowing to the mainstream. Yeah,
it's crazy.
that's crazy. That is crazy.
It just like, and Joni says, I find this field very interesting, and it is very interesting. And another part that back then in 2006, and I do believe it's going on right now, guys, is that you had your spiritual side of the group, and then you had your scientific side of the group. Okay. And no matter where you went, no matter what equipment that you used, there was always a big split down the middle between the spiritual and the scientific part. And I did not want that in my group, but I tried to control it, but nothing was happening. There was still a separation. And like as Jay said, the egos got into the way. And well, it's not here on video, so there's no ghost. Or if there's a ghost here, then on this video, then we just fought. We just fought. And that's within the own group. Okay.
Yeah,
And that
we
was
had
back
that same.
into six. But
We had
now
the same
it's,
thing.
yeah. And now it's 2026 and it's fucking being, excuse my language, it is exactly happening again, where people are calling out other people because their group is small. Okay. Our group is the best because we have over $10,000 worth of equipment in our group. Okay.
Yeah.
And you only have maybe 300 in your group. What's equipment got to do with it? You know what I mean? Um, and that's the way I look at it because I am empath. You all investigated with me, and
Hmm.
and it's like, why do you need to go out and spend all that freaking money? Because other people are using it. We don't give a crap about your damn equipment. What do you do? What do you do, guys? Whenever you run cameras, when you run video cameras, the next day you're looking at close to 12 hours of video with it not moving. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Who wants
Yeah.
to, waste your Sunday sitting in front of a freaking computer watching nothing there? And I don't know. See, to me, if you had a digital camera and you shot like 400 pictures like we used to do, okay, then the next day go through each picture. That was great, man. That was great. But sitting there in your home on a Sunday afternoon watching video, it just don't cut it. You know what I mean? And
You know,
people would not
you're
just go ahead, Jay.
you're absolutely right. I mean, that's one of the reasons we actually have gotten away from our big video system. I've got a 8 camera system that we run, but it just to get it up and running, it takes the better part of 45 minutes to an hour, and that's time that I could be just grabbing my video camera, you know, my handheld, and just running off and using that. If if the entities in a location will let me do it. I had that problem this weekend at Crescent. I had 2 battery packs all charged up, ready to go. Get down into an area, fire it up. Didn't even get 5 minutes. And said a few cuss words, changed the battery pack out, slapped it back on, dead within a couple of minutes. It's like, are you guys kidding me? You know. But sitting there on a Sunday after you're trying to recover from the investigation, and just God knows how many hours I've sat in front of those, watching those 8 cameras and looking for something to happen. You
Right.
know, it gets on the wife's nerves, gets on the kids' nerves. Yeah, for those of us who have kids. Um, but still, you can get lucky. I mean, Jay was with us. Jay, where was that? Greene County, where we
Mm-hmm.
had Brandon set up the camera, and we didn't know it until like 2, 3 months later. Somebody was going through the footage for me at our Christmas party, just having fun, and here we caught a full-bodied apparition ducking in and out of the kitchen area over there at Greene County. You know, but you get people. One of my big things is when you go into groups on Facebook or Reddit or wherever have you, and you post up evidence, and oh, that's not real, that's not real, you suck, you don't know what you're talking about. Um, I've instigated a rule in our team that if you're not present when the evidence is captured, you have no right to comment negatively on it. You
Exactly,
know,
dude.
and
That's the way I look at it.
it,
Uh,
you
I would
know,
like to
I
go ahead.
literally just posted those 3 or 4 pictures I sent you today, Sean.
Yeah.
The all red ones. I
Yeah.
posted them in in a group on Facebook called Slapped Ham, based on the YouTube channel, and said, my team caught this past weekend at Crescent Sanitarium. Eric, I'll have to send them to you. They're really shocking. Um,
Not
but
those kind
I
of
had
pictures. I don't want to see that.
oh, you've seen them already.
I took
But
some.
well, you took a couple of them, yeah. Um, dude, I've missed you. um, but in this group, you got people going, well, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Okay, I flat out said, hey, do you even know what to look for? I'm not trying to be rude, but there's, this is how you do it. You take 3 or 4 pictures in a row, and if something crops up in the middle, there's your evidence.
Hmm.
And they're going, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about. You're stupid. This, that, the other. It's like, yeah, you're right. I'm stupid. I've just been investigating for 25 years. You know, so I don't have no idea what I'm talking about. I've never caught evidence. It's
And the
like I
way
said
the way
earlier.
I
It's human
the,
nature.
the way I look at that, Drake, is what I tell them. First of all, I learned a valuable lesson a very long time ago, not to put shit on the internet, because when you do, you get ripped on. But Ace Squat's
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
And let me get to Jay here, and then we'll jump into Eric, and then we'll take a quick break. Jay, your thoughts?
Uh,
You can't do that.
what?
No,
But
Jay, I meant, hold on. Drake, he can't smoke. You can't do that. No, 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 no.
I know.
All right. Okay.
bad.
It's bad for you, and you can't do it, or
Yeah,
I'll get in trouble. They'll
I
fine
had
me
a
$5,000. They'll fine me $5,000.
oh you mean on you? Okay, on
Yeah.
camera. Okay,
It's like,
gotcha.
no, I mean, pretty much like what Drake just said. You put stuff on the internet, like even you said it, Sean. You got people who thinks they can just dissect the picture, and they say there ain't nothing there. Um, you can ask Drake. I'm really big at trying to dissect a picture. I'm real big on that. But do I go up and look at them? They don't know what they're talking about. No, I mean I would never turn around and bash someone like that. Um, I mean they're out there trying to do the exact same thing that all of us has been out doing. So
right.
yeah, our job, the way I see it, when someone's out there trying to, who just started, like let's say Eric there just started coming into this field, and he's still, green. Let's put it that way. And he go up and get a picture, and he's like, "Oh, look what I got." Well, let's see what you got. Did you move? We should be leading by example with these people. And some of these people who's, like I said, who's trying to get on TV and stuff like that, they should be just really, if that's all you want, then you're in the wrong field, really. And you shouldn't be
Exactly.
mathing people.
Exactly, dude. Absolutely. Okay, we got a lot. Hey, there's the Ross House. He says be careful of bullying and slandering on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
That's true. And Joni's saying stealing content too. And there's a lot of people that steal that. A lot of people. And user, we're from Pennsylvania. And Mr. Dr. J. Blackburn's down in Kentucky. So that's where we're
Well, actually, I'm in New Alexandria. Actually,
okay.
I'm up in PA.
Okay, so we're all from Pennsylvania. Eric, real quick, and then we'll go on break.
Talk about the equipment. People will spend 8, 10, 20,000. Yeah, I spent all this to have all this equipment. I'm sure you have the credit card bill every month to show it. But I'm sure the guys here can relate to this. Some of the best evidence we get is when we just take a simple piece of equipment and we're goofing off. We're not even trying. I was part of a
The
live
Linus
feed.
and Lucy theme.
I was part of a live feed 6 years ago, and we were panned out a window, and you saw a spirit manifest and take 2 steps. We were just trying to show the people watching the live feed that there was no one there but us, and that just happened. You don't need all the special equipment. You don't need the the bedazzled Ed Hardy jeans and the muscle shirts and all the screaming and yelling. Because I did want to say, Drake, you said there's no right or wrong way. We all know there is a very wrong way to do this. So, and those are the times.
The guy with
really
the tight t-shirts.
You mean the Bagans way?
Yeah, tight t-shirt, tight pants. Yeah.
So,
but here's the way I look at it, dudes. Okay, to me, the best evidence you can get on an investigation is a personal experience. To me, that is the ultimate. Who are we supposed to go out? So we got a picture of a ghost. We got a video or a EVP out of a ghost or something like that. Who gives a shit? What's it prove? We all know that if we put it out there, we're going to get ripped on, And so to us, all the stuff that we get on investigations, that's ours. That is all ours. And nobody has to know. You know what I mean? No one has to know. But listen, we're going to take a quick break here, guys. Drake, you can because I do it too on that. I'll put you in the green room so you can behave, buddy.
I promise I'll be a good boy.
All right. Okay, everybody, we're going to be going on a break. So what you have to do is grab a Coke. Patrick, stay on. Hey, Drake, look who's on. Look who's in the chat. Patrick, my brother. He got his mic off. All right, so we're going to go on break, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
Where'd you drag him up from?
I told him he would be on, and he was all excited. He was doing the Irish jig.
I wouldn't put it past
popcorn ready. He got his popcorn ready, Jake. Cigarette
hey,
down,
Pat, how you been, old friend?
All right. Okay, so we're going to go on break. See you in a couple minutes, everybody.
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
everybody. Welcome back to Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. Again, I want to thank UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans for allowing me to give you 2 shows a week. Don't forget, right after mine at 9:15, Miss C.L. Thomas, her Gateway podcast. I'm going to be her guest, and hopefully she'll invite these gentlemen on with us. But back to my show right now. I got my friend Eric, Dr. J. Blackburn, and Mr. Reverend Drake Bowan, and we are talking about. Oh, there she is. We got some stories to tell you. CL does. Wait till you hear her stuff. This is Miss CL Thomas, but we are talking about paranormal bullying, and so CL is going to come on right now. So hello, CL.
Hello, how is everybody?
Okay, this is Eric, and then Dr. J. Blackburn, and Mr. Reverend Drake Bowman.
Hello, guys.
Good evening. Good evening, y'all.
How are you?
Good.
I'm okay.
Yeah, getting old.
You guys are all
Okay.
Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, they're the best. They're the best. These are my buds, man. These are the OGs of paranormal in Pittsburgh, in Pennsylvania, right here. Heidi says hello. But we're just talking about bullying in the paranormal field. And would you like to share a little bit of the bullying? And open up,
Yes.
unleash, girl, unleash it.
I've had my fair share of paranormal bullying, and it's all, it's all out of like jealousy for the most part. So, I'll just say this: it's a lot of there's certain groups of people where they feel like if you're taking $1 out of their pocket somehow, meaning that your product is a little bit better and maybe somebody is buying your product over theirs, they tend to get really jealous. So, for instance, I started the magazine, Erie Expeditions magazine. I've gotten a threat. Someone emailed me a threat, and he was one of the guys that was working with that magazine. I'm not going to go into names, but this character, he is the graphic designer of that magazine. And so next thing I know, I had a bunch of people unfollowing me. The owner of that magazine was talking really bad about me. I didn't even know who she was at the time. I was uninvited from one of the Paracons. I was scheduled to speak, and then all of a sudden I was uninvited to attend. And it was because they were sponsoring that event, and they gave them the ultimatum that if I was going to attend, I would interfere with their business, and it was a conflict of interest on their part. This guy who sent me that threat, apparently he was in some kind of legal dispute. I don't really know too much about it, but he ended up suing the state, and he got quite a bit of money. And with that money, he's funding people like Beacon and that magazine, stuff like that. So it gives them some leverage to throw those kinds of, deterioration, I guess, against people from me, like attending anything and stuff like that. So that's part of the story. There are 2 other individuals. One of them is a well-known medium that everyone seems to love for some reason. And the other one, he's pretty well known in the paranormal too. These 2 guys, they're friends. They're definite bullies in the field as well. I used to be friends with the one guy. He got mad because I kind of confronted him on some stuff that he's doing. He's blatantly lying about being sick. He's lying about a whole lot of stuff just to collect money. And he's one of these people that's always has a GoFundMe out there, that sort of thing. For the last like 4 or 5 years, he's had a GoFundMe up from silly things like cats and just all kinds of. What he's doing really is he's collecting money from people to fund his lifestyle. The guy's been fired from multiple TV shows, that sort of thing. But anyhow, long story short, I confronted him about something that he said. He kind of hurt my feelings. We were supposed to be friends and all. And, yeah, he next thing I know, he's taking to his social media and telling his fans that I was a stalker and I was this and I was that. It was just ridiculous. Yeah, he took the magazine a few years ago and said I was trying to how did he put it? It doesn't matter. But anyway, when you use a platform because you've been on TV, you have this grand following, and there's multiple guys out there doing this. They take to social media to get their fans to dislike you. And that's happened to me with this medium. It's happened to me with the owner of that magazine. So does bullying exist in this field? Yeah, and it's all about money. That's what it comes down to. It's a money game.
Oh wow, Eric, you want to add?
I don't have money.
No shit.
I don't have money, but I don't know who this person is. I honestly don't follow any of like it. It sounds. I don't know if it sounds like head in the sand type thing, or I've reached the age where I value my peace. But I don't have. I don't see the point in spending, even if you have a shitload of money, even if I win the Powerball tomorrow night and I have enough money to do anything I want, anything. I don't understand the need to ruin other people's lives or just even their day. There's something fundamentally wrong with someone that is in that wants to put other people in that situation. I'm probably going to misquote it, but when you're damaged, you don't get better by damaging other people.
True.
And
True.
money definitely corrupts, and egos and insecurity are just terrible for any type of community, any type of collaborative work. We give each other shit all the time, Jay, Drake, me, but it's in fun. We know we're joking around. I don't know of anything I've ever said to any of them or that they've ever said to me where any of us had to take a beat. And that's how it should be. I know that's an idealistic point of view, but that's how it should be. If you want to be in any community, regardless paranormal, I'll even say furries. Sorry, Drake. It boils down to don't be a dick. Life is so much easier if people would stop being dicks for no reason.
Very good. I like that quote, Jay.
The way I see it, pretty much on the same line as every one of you guys are seeing it. Like Eric said, egos.
Oh, okay. You're done. Oh, I didn't know. Sorry, bro. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Drake.
I think that's the quickest I've ever heard. That's got to be the quickest I've ever heard Jake.
That's what I'm thinking too, man.
Yeah, really.
Now we're going to probably hear the longest.
CL, I'm sorry that happened to you. That is some farm bred bull crap. That somebody would have to be so petty. But in something my dad, God rest his soul, used to tell me is, because I'm used to being bullied ever since I was a kid because I'm autistic. And, Dad always told me, take a look at the person, does it do them any good? No, but it makes them feel better inadvertently about themselves. Haha, I ridiculed Drake, or I ridiculed Jay for his accent, or Eric for his hobby. Sean smoked, Sean's beard is too long, whatever have you. It breaks down. It just makes you feel good about yourself. And it gets to that point where, people need to start looking at each other when other teams do it. They're, like I said, the former team members who went off and formed their own team, We're talking all kinds of crap about me. And, okay, they've got a nice little following on Facebook. I'm happy for them. But, like Jay said, I'm more interested in results. I'm not, I don't care anymore what other people think. I'm 56 years old. I survived an 80% blocked widowmaker. I've been at death's door multiple times throughout my life. I'm just too old to care about what anybody else has said. You want to talk smack on me? Go right ahead. I don't care. Because all that does
Smack.
is make you look like you're less of, all that does is make you look like you're less of a person. And
Exactly.
we all need to adopt that ideal.
Exactly. And I tell you what, everybody, and by the way, guys, this show is being watched at over 160 different countries out there tonight. So you're well known all over the place. But
I
everybody
already
out there,
was. What are you talking about?
well, I know a lot of shit. You want to start something, brother? Okay. You think I'm going to buy one of your damn little Matchbox cars again? Shit. You keep talking like
You
that.
didn't pay for the first one.
But
Yeah,
no, everybody,
speaking of which, Eric.
yeah, where's Drake? I'm joking.
Yeah,
No,
where's mine?
everybody, I will take these guys over a lot of people on an investigation. And we would have so much fun doing it. Okay. And we would not step on each other's toes. If Drake caught a pitcher, okay, if Jay got an EVP, and if Eric gets lucky and he gets like a little bleep on his little phone there, his little thing, um, I'm not going to judge. That's what it comes down to. People judge other people on the content that they get, and it's not right. Who are you to judge? The only person who can judge you is the person upstairs when you die. That's the only one. And so when the five of us here with CL2, the five of us who's been doing it for such a long freaking time, okay, we don't want to hear your shit about other groups. And I can guarantee everybody that if it was a so-called big group with $20,000 worth of equipment going off on a little small group who's just starting, I'm telling you, we would back off. We would back the small group up. You know what I mean? And
Definitely.
And it's like you just don't do the bullshit. I see people in tears. I see people in tears. And like Drake said at the beginning, and this has happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to everybody out there. Okay, your first investigation, you take your first picture, and you get a nice, decent orb, and you're so freaking excited that you want to show everybody about it, and you put it out there. And the first thing that comes out of people's mouth is, I don't believe in orbs. Orbs don't exist. That's not an orb. That's that's a dew, or that's a watermark, or whatever.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and
I
it's
agree.
just
I agree
like,
wholeheartedly, Sean.
yeah, and it just, that one sentence from one guy, that person going on first investigation, enjoying life, wanting this thing, okay, and someone has to step on their ego stepped on this person, and it really took the fun of paranormal investigating out of this person, because this person knocked him down because of an orb. Oh my God, all the orbs that I put out there at the beginning, man, I should be in a mental hospital for all the shit people told me. But you know what? No, not at all. I just kept doing what I'm doing. I enjoy what I'm doing. My problem today is I'm 64 years old. I'm old. I cannot stay out till 3 o'clock in the morning anymore and wake up at 7 to go to work. Just can't do that anymore. But again, the four other people that are in this group, I would take them over freaking whatever. and I'm going to run the so-called, you know, people who know how to do this shit. But I tell you what, I want to run this question by you because it is 9 o'clock and we got a couple of minutes left. What do you think of the paranormal TV shows? We'll start with you, CL.
Oh, don't even ask me that question. I think, you know, what I've learned, these guys really aren't investigators. These are actors. When you look at the profiles on, you know, those different little TV ratings sites, every single one of them is listed as an actor. Most of the mediums, if you start looking into their background, they've actually been to acting school and things like that. There's a famous guy right now who I was talking about before. He was trying to be in the movie. He was trying to be an actor, like a serious one, and he was actually in different movies, sets, and stuff like that. So he's found a niche playing the part of a medium on this TV show, right? But I'll give you an example. When I was in Germany, I went with, you know, one of those ambassador-led trips. And we had an investigation that was supposed to be led by this guy. And so we're all sitting in the basement, and he's supposed to be the one leading this thing. And one of the guys that was on the tour, he passed a like a EVP recorder to him, and he just passed a buck, and he said, you know, I get paid to do this for a living. And then he walked off. He was being paid to be there to lead this investigation. He just walked off the job completely because it was above him, or beneath him, I should say. I think really this guy doesn't know how to lead an investigation. I think he doesn't do it ever. I think he just shows up on these TV sites and films for a couple of hours or however long they film for. I know they're not there overnight. But I think it's the same with all of these guys. They're being paid to be there. They're not real investigators. They go to a location. They don't spend the night there. They spend whatever time it takes to get that footage, and then they're out. That's what I think about these TV shows. So we're trying to hold these people as investigators, as the know-alls, right? But in the end, it's you guys that know more than they do. And that's for everybody out there. If you're doing this and you're spending the time and you're spending the night at these places and actually truly investigating, you are doing 10 times more than what these guys on television are doing.
Yes. Thank you, dear. Eric, real quick.
I will defend Portals to Hell just because it's Jack and Ozzy is awesome. I got to actually give his producers a tour of one of the places that they filmed at. So, but I didn't watch the episode. I don't watch any of them after doing it. It's kind of boring at this point. It's not how it is. It's kind of like that kind of website that you go onto when you're bored. That's not really how it is. It's they're great for finding out what places are available to investigate. Other than that, you're not going to learn techniques. You're not going to learn very much from them other than how to not do it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And Jay?
I think they're actually overrated, truthfully. You know, since I've, went this far into it, it's, it began really being just overrated. When I sit there and do, have time to really sit down and watch something, it would be more like a documentary. We got, what is that? Sling TV, right? We haven't had regular cable in years. And they have like two channels that's based on paranormal. And I really got into the one that was actually just over here in Chestnut Ridge. So that really started, broadened my horizon, just seeing stuff that's local here.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Jay, Not Jay. Why am I saying Jay?
I'm over here.
Sorry, Jay just talked.
Yeah. Jay's over that way.
He's that
Drake. Yeah, he's over that way. Drake, last call. Last. You got the closing argument there.
You know, I have to agree with everybody. You know, as CL, you couldn't put it any better than I do whenever I teach paranormal 101. You know, every time I teach people how to ghost hunt, I tell them flat out, you're not going to learn everything here. I'm going to give you the tools to learn, and you're going to learn the rest on the job. But one of the things I tell them is that television shows are just that. These are paid actors who are out there for, you know, the money. You know, they're here for the money. You know, I won't mention names, but there was a muscle-bound moron who went into Hillview Manor some years ago to film an edition of his show there. Walked in, looked into the office. You know, it was all dark, so he could see his own reflection. Made sure his hair was right, and you know, snapped his fingers and pointed at himself like, "You're the man." And you know, I've sworn to God that if I ever turn out like him, you know, I'll end up taking, you know, doing something drastic and making sure I put a stop to it.
You're not talking about me,
But
are you?
no, my hero, my hero.
You ain't lying.
You know,
hey, listen, guys, we got to get going because CL has to leave soon. CL, can the boys come on if they want to?
Yeah, if they want to, come join me.
Yeah. Okay.
We're just talking about the same stuff. I have open lines tonight, so.
Yes.
I would love to sometimes, CL, but I've got to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So, but please,
I'm in a very similar boat.
Keep me in mind for future shows.
That's okay, but gentlemen, thank you so much. CL, thank you for popping in. This was a very, very miss as in the two Sean's. That's funny. But thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening and watching the show. Gentlemen, I'm telling you, you are my very good best friends. And I am so proud and I am honored to know you and what we have done for the paranormal investigating experiences here in Pennsylvania. Okay. I think we did pretty good, you know. And one of these days we're going to retire. I retired. One of these days we're going to retire and just sit back, buy some popcorn, sit back, drink beer, coffee, whatever, and enjoy the show. Thank you guys again for coming on tonight. I truly appreciate it. Children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you don't have no parents, and if you have no children, find somebody, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a long way. And remember, everybody, don't forget, the Gateway Podcast, me and CL I'm going to be CL's guest. So, and we're just going to continue this subject. So, right after my show ends, please go over to CL's show and give us some love over there, okay? Good night, everybody. Good night, gentlemen. And we will definitely see you next Sunday. Good night.